This is Answer Me This. Welcome back. And again, this week we are going to focus on challenging the way that you think, challenging the way that you show up, and importantly, encouraging you to take stock, to reset, to pause, to reflect on your fatherhood story and the impact that you are having. It's these questions, it's this question set that will help you reflect on your strengths. It will help you show up in the moment, but it will also help you prioritise what's truly important to you and to them. So the hard truth, we're modelling stress, not joy. I want you to answer these questions. What are your kids learning from you right now? And then let me ask you something a bit deeper. If you were living with clarity and intention, what would your kids see instead? If joy became the goal, not just provision, how would you show up differently tomorrow? And if you were building your exit plan right now, what would that teach them about possibility? The option I think we have is this. Right now, they might see you coping. What if they could see you creating? It's that shift that can become the story they tell themselves for the rest of their lives. If I take a step back and ask myself that question, what are my boys learning from me right now? If I'm brutally honest, I think our boys are seeing the wrong side of the story right now. There have been times when they've seen me cut off and distance as I focused on trying to make a difference. My focus was elsewhere because I was focused on the end goal, their future, my future, something that created opportunity for us all. But in the pursuit of something better, I still have to be present. I still need to be emotionally available. And importantly, I've got to stay calm under pressure. The problem is, life doesn't always play out that way. When I needed time to build my business and focus on our future, we had a chance to move house. We had an opportunity too good to turn down. We jumped at the chance. But we also had a 7-year-old who was finding it hard to adjust after having an operation in September. And honestly, 7-year-old who wanted to challenge authority as he was finding his way in the world and re-establishing the confidence that he'd had. That created more conflict and uncertainty at home, high levels of stress, and to parents wrestling with new and unexpected challenges. Sometimes it doesn't matter what your intentions are or your plans. Sometimes life just gives you a kick in the arse. With work stress, a child overcoming a traumatic event, and the house move, had we bitten off more than we could chew? And importantly, were we failing them? We've moved house, taken on a big project, and we're working hard, really hard. But it's not clarity. At times it's chaos, and at times it's become the norm. That's what life feels like at times. Chaos. My son's world had been turned upside down, and we didn't feel ready to cope with it. For a while, I think we lost our way. He wanted our attention. He craved our love and reassurance. But depleted of energy, it's difficult to find that mental space to be on hand and be mentally present. We had to take a chance to move us collectively forward. It was a chance too good to turn down, an opportunity to purchase the house we'd wanted for nearly 5 years. Our old home held so many memories, but it felt tired. And with Henry's confidence and self-worth under strain, this felt like a fresh start. But more importantly, a moment for us to collectively breathe. But what do they see in these moments of upheaval and stress? They see tired parents, stressed, snapping, rushing from one thing to the next. We tell them we're doing this for their future, but they're living in the reality of our present. Let's face it, they don't care about the house. What's in it for them? What they care about is time, connection, and mum and dad focused on them. When you're stressed and your energy stores are depleted, what they get is very different. Paper thin patience, razor sharp tongue, too tired to really listen, distracted by that next call, that in a minute approach to parenting and connection. What does that do to your confidence? How does it make you feel? What do you do about it? Do you face the music and try hard to address the balance? Or do you hide behind the mask, hoping that it will pass, hoping that they won't miss out when deep down, you know they will. I felt conflicted, angry, and at times I didn't have the answer. I knew we'd made the right decision. It was the chance of a lifetime. Why not take it? But at the same time, I questioned whether it was the right move. With Henry's confidence shot, he needed us more than ever. Not only were we juggling all this, but Terry and I were working late into the evenings, and we were prioritising everything above us as a couple, as individuals. When you've been together for as long as we have, and you know how the other person thinks, you can push the limits of your connection, push too far, and it adds that extra layer of stress. The problem, you no longer have your outlet, your safe space, that moment to breathe. And that's when it all gets too much. When it gets too much, that's when it erodes the foundation of your partnership and, importantly, your connection and your presence with your kids. These are challenges I'm sure you've faced. Clarity is important. Understanding your influence and impact too. But being clear on the factors that stop you showing up, well, they play a far greater role. If it were ambition, we'd be chasing something bigger. We'd be building an exit plan. We'd be showing them what it means to lead with purpose. Instead, at times, we're showing them what it looks like to survive, with no margin for joy. For a while, I thought I was slipping back to the old me. Depleted of energy, I struggled to find the light in the day. When the battle commenced after a tough day, did I respond in the right way? Not always. Did I raise my voice and react from the back foot and not anticipate that escalation point? Yeah, I'm human. Anyone subjected to the level of stress we were experiencing at that time, well, they would have struggled to stay calm under that pressure too. But still, you have to find a way. It doesn't matter how, because it's a must and not a should. You must respond better. You must change your perspective. You must find a moment to breathe. You must disrupt the way you think. You must focus on the impact your response under pressure is having on young minds. You're right, some of this was our own doing. We made the decision. We had an opportunity, and as parents we took it. Did it increase the pressure we were under? For a moment, yes. But then we started to regain control. We'd interrupted the cycle, and the light at the end of the tunnel didn't feel that far away. For a long time, we carried the stress from Henry's traumatic event in September. It threw our whole world out of sync, and for the first time since 2020, we were under real pressure. But we're learning to think about it differently. They don't need to feel your pain or experience your frustration. They need to learn how to embrace challenge, see opportunity, and not be caged by the world outside. But they also need to be comfortable in the chaos and let things play out. Because from time to time, life throws you a curveball, one that means that you need to adapt the way you think. They need to understand that hard work is part of the process and it cannot limit progress or connection, love or passion. And that's what has to change. I want them to see us laugh, play, dream, choose joy over pressure. I want them to believe that life can be light, not just heavy. You have to make a commitment to do so. You must be clear on the impact that you want to have and be even clearer on the influences that impact how you show up. The clearer you are on those things, the more present you can be. They cannot see you weathered by your own ambition and distracted by that next opportunity. Your role is to teach them how to tackle adversity and embrace opportunity. But more importantly, you must teach them how to live for the now, not tomorrow, and not the past, but right now. You hold so much power over who they become. You shape their values, beliefs, and what they will prioritise in the future. In a conversation this week, I pushed my eldest. Follow your passion, find someone you love, something you love to do, and go for it. He looked at me for a moment. Is that what you did? My response? It's what I try to do every single day. I'm passionate about you, and Maxie, and Mummy too. I found someone I love. I'm now searching for that thing that brings us all closer together and where we spend more time together. But what does that mean, Daddy? It's a place where we smile, laugh, learn and have fun. We have it now, but what if we could have more of it? His response? That would make me happier, Daddy. Our objective is simple. Help them outgrow the life you provided. But you cannot do that if you're not prepared to focus on the little things. Those things that matter. Because one day they'll model their lives off what they saw at home. And I want that model to be full of laughter, love and leadership. Not just lists, deadlines and exhaustion. Let's be frank. It's boring being a grown-up. We answer to the mortgage, the bills, the boss. And we're often limited by our own expectations. What I'm asking today is for you to try to reset. Disconnect from the noise outside and focus your attention on what makes the difference to you and them. Because if you don't, they'll see you distant, distracted and cold. What they need is you. They don't need you charging up the leaderboard, working later than the rest and burning bright, only to burn out when you're home. So let me ask you again. If you were living with clarity and intention, what would your kids see instead? If joy became the goal, not just provision, how would you show up differently tomorrow? This is about intention. This is about connecting with the purpose that drives every single decision, the one that guides every interaction, that thing that forces you to evaluate what impact you're having and what impact your approach to work and everything else is having on you, your health, your partnership, and them. There has never been a better time to make changes. Just look at the way your children look at you. No matter the burden you carry, no matter the target or how stressed you feel, they'll look at you in the same way. They'll still look at you with wonder and unfiltered love. That is the beauty of fatherhood. As fathers, we're too quick to dismiss or overlook the emotional impact of our own feelings and how they can impact our kids. My own journey taught me a number of things, but crucially, these lessons taught me that perspective is power. Remember, your children need a father. If you're distracted, you're not able to give them what they need. Being present in the moment and not consumed by your own problems helps you build a stronger connection between you and them. This next one is the most important, because this is what influences how you show up. If you can't control it, let it go. You're a leader and teacher, so trust your instinct, be authentic and evaluate the impact you're having and the dad that you want to be. And finally, if it holds no value to you, then it has no purpose and therefore it should have no impact. Now, before we finish up, I want to share something personal. It's the one thing that I go back to over and over when I need clarity. Every time I feel stuck or feel like I need clarity, I revisit and revise this statement. My biggest fear as their dad is that they won't reach or realise their potential and that they'll be blocked by my limiting beliefs because I imposed my limitations upon them. To lead them, I must be healthy, I must be clear-headed, I must be present, I must be able to disconnect from the stress and strain of daily life. If I fail to arrest the downturn in my own personal fortunes or let stress get in the way, then how can I help them become resilient? If I go up now, what message does it send? This fear is ingrained, it drives me forward. But above all else, it allows me to pause, reflect on the world around me, and turn off the influences that stop me becoming the father they need me to be. We all need a guiding statement, something that helps us regain perspective, I want you to take this away. What is important about your role and why? What legacy do you want to leave behind? To truly understand it, you need to know the truth behind that statement I shared. You need to articulate why it's important. So why is that statement I shared important to me? Because my kids should not have their lives limited by my decisions or indecision. They should never have to fight on alone and shape their own future against the toughest circumstances. My role is to influence, impact and inspire, not to hesitate and stubbornly choose the path that suits me and detriments them. So today we're starting again, not perfect, but with intention, because joy is part of your legacy too. Fatherhood, if you commit to it, is not a walk in the sunshine. It's fucking hard, and at times you're going to feel exhausted. But every interaction you have with your kids at any age must be on the front foot and filled with love, joy, and appreciation for the simple things that a connected dad can deliver. As always, I'm Aidan. This is Answer Me This, a series dedicated to pushing you to go deeper on your fatherhood story. Remember, our resources are all available at the Modern Fatherhood Club, and our guide to avoiding burnout and focusing on the right things is available now for free. And for those willing to take a step up and evaluate their fatherhood story and become truly present, the New Dad Recharge is available right now for £49, including Fatherhood Unleashed, which has been thrown in to keep you honest, accountable and focused on your impact. As always, thanks for listening. I'm Aidan, and I'll see you soon.